Bloating sucks. It is painful, it makes you feel uncomfortable in your clothes, and it just seems to happen at the wrong time, right before a party, an event, during the holidays, or during the 7-day festivities before your cousin's wedding. So let me show you in this video the things that you can do to prevent bloating, and if it happens, what you can do to alleviate it. My name is Noor Zibde. I am a functional and integrative dietitian, and I help people overcome all sorts of digestive issues and inflammatory issues. You can read more about my practice and my programs in the description. Let's start with tip number 1, which is don't overeat. I know it's easier said than done, but you really need to think about this. Are you overeating because you're actually hungry and it's been 7 hours since your last meal? If that's the case, make sure that you eat healthy meals and not to skip meals right before a party. If you're eating mindlessly because the food is near you and it's so accessible, step away from the food, have conversations away from the buffet and like out of sight, out of mind. And if it's an arm's away or farther, then you're less likely to mindlessly eat. Also think about it, the food looks 10 times better than it actually tastes. And I've always felt that's the case whenever I go to like buffets and things like that. So keep that in mind and maybe pick a couple of things. Ask someone like, hey, is this good? Is it worth it to eat this, so you don't overeat? And no matter what you do, you really have to eat slowly and chew thoroughly for many reasons. That will help you eat less volume in general. When you chew thoroughly, it will help your digestion. So teeth help your stomach. So it's less likely that the food will cause bloating. And also your taste buds are in your mouth. So when you eat slowly, you get to enjoy the food more and enjoy the flavor, whether it's sweet or savory or whatever you're looking for, and you will be satisfied with less food. Tip number 2 is to not eat a lot of high fiber foods. I know you're going to be thinking, wow, this dietitian is telling me to not eat vegetables. Well, when you eat a lot of broccoli or beans right before an event, or if you eat raw broccoli or cauliflower from the vegetable platter, or if you're eating a lot of onions, these are foods that tend to cause a lot of gas and fermentation in the abdominal area and will make you feel bloated and gassy. I know this is not a long-term solution, and I do want you to eat your vegetables, but looking at, and there are reasons, like if you can't handle these foods, that means that you have underlying root causes and bacterial overgrowth likely, and you need to address these root causes, but that's going to take a few weeks at least. But if you're feeling bloated now, or if you have an event or a party tonight or the next day, try to avoid eating these foods and work on the root causes for the future. Tip number 3 is to drink something that helps digestion. So things like ginger tea made from fresh ginger root or peppermint tea, these help digestion and motility and help alleviate digestive issues. Now, if you're keep in mind, peppermint can make acid reflux worse, so be careful with that. My favorite things are things seeds, so fennel seeds, anise or anise seeds, however you want to call it, caraway seeds, and cumin seeds. All these seeds are known to aid digestion and stimulate motility. So whether you do ginger or these seeds, you put a little bit in a mug and maybe like one of those stainless steel like tea balls and pour hot water, let it steep for a little bit and drink it in between meals, and that could help alleviate some of the bloating. Now, if you don't have any of these seeds, you haven't tried them, or you're worried about sensitivities or allergies, at least the least you can do is drink warm water in between meals, because warm water actually helps digestion and motility and can help move things downstream and give you a little bit of relief. If you think this video is helpful, make sure you hit the like button. It actually tells you and other people that bloating is common and you're not alone in this journey. And it also tells YouTube that this information is helpful, so it will share it with other people who are struggling with bloating just like you. Tip number 4 is to take digestive enzymes. I know this needs a little bit of planning ahead because you may not have products at your home, but in general, digestive enzymes can help us break down and digest certain food components that may be harder to digest. I have another video on digestion and which digestive enzymes I recommend that I will link in the description. But in general, you want to find something that has the ability to break down fiber, carbohydrates, including lactose, fats, and protein. If you need something right now, chances are you may have some raw apple cider vinegar at home. So you can mix a teaspoon to a tablespoon with a little bit of water and drink it. It's usually most beneficial before eating as opposed to after meals. Now, if you have acid reflux, gastritis, ulcers, or H. pylori, I would recommend against that. I know some people with acidity or acid reflux do better with apple cider vinegar. If that's your case, that's great, but just be careful because it does backfire for some people. Tip number 5 is to move your body. Many times people feel bloated and gassy because there's food and waste and just gases being trapped in the digestive system. So when we move the body, it helps push them downstream and give you some relief. So the best thing that you can do is to go for a gentle walk. This is not the time to go for a run or do some heavy weightlifting or a HIIT workout. Many times when I go out to eat with my friends or my husband, I like to go to a place that allows me to go for a light walk for 10-15 minutes after the meal. It's just better than eating a heavy meal and then seated and then sitting again in the car and then just sitting all evening. Now, another option for movement can be some stretching exercises that help release some trapped gas. So these can be things like laying down on your back and bringing your knees up to your chest. These can be, you can do lay down on your back and move your knees from one side to the other, doing a twist. That will help release some gas. If you have acid reflux, you can sit up and move your knees from one side to another, or do a twist where you just put one knee over the other leg and twist your body. You can also do a child's pose, but also be careful with acid reflux. So any exercise that helps your body release some gas will give you relief from bloating. And tip number 6 is doing some abdominal massage. So that will also help move food and undigested material, gas and waste along the colon so that it can exit your body. What you want to do is you start from the right abdominal area, like right bottom part of your abdomen, and you gently massage a few times, 3 to 5 times, up all the way up to the right corner under your rib cage. Then you do the same movements around across the chest to the left side. Then you go from the left side top to bottom, again 3 to 5 times. And then when you reach the bottom, you go diagonal all the way to the rectal area. Doing these gentle strokes a few times, moving along with the colon, can help give relief, and it helps with bowel movements. And by the way, the last 4 tips that I mentioned all help with constipation, and many times people are bloated and gassy and have pain because they haven't had enough bowel movements. So if that's the case for you, click on the first link under in the description, because I have the 10 best foods that you can eat for constipation, and I'm sure that will help you with what you're dealing with. And in my next video, I'm going to tell you which foods tend to cause gas and bloating and digestive issues and which ones do not, so you can have a game plan for what to eat and what not to eat to prevent bloating from happening. So make sure you watch the next video. I hope this was helpful. Now let me know in the comments what helps you alleviate bloating, because I'm sure this will help other people watching this video as well. And if you have any questions or any topics that you want me to cover, ask in the comments, and I'll see you on the next video.